All right, so today we are going deep on something that honestly kind of blew my mind when I first saw it.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a head scratcher.
It really is. We're diving into a source titled, Why Having $1 Billion? Actually, SEKKS.
Seriously?
I know, right? Like at first glance,
They would ever say that.
I mean, come on, $1 billion. It's almost unimaginable. You'd think that would solve like every problem, wouldn't you?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Most of us, I think, kind of just assume more money, more happiness.
Right. But this source, it goes against that whole idea.
It really makes you wonder if maybe, just maybe, there's a downside to all that cash. Like things we don't even think about.
Okay, so before we get into those potential downsides, I gotta ask, have you ever like actually thought about what would be bad about having $1 billion?
Well, we've all heard that saying, money can't buy happiness. But honestly, it's easy to dismiss that when you're, struggling to make rent or pay bills.
Right, totally.
But when you're talking about $1 billion, that saying takes on a whole new meaning. I mean, think about it. That kind of wealth, it brings a whole different set of problems and pressures.
Yeah, like, I don't know, maybe you'd have to worry about people constantly suing you. Or like, what if all that money made you paranoid? Would you end up like distrusting everyone around you?
Yeah, those are possibilities, I guess. But the source we're looking at, I think it dives into some even deeper issues, like the potential loss of privacy. Imagine every move you make is scrutinized. Every purchase is tracked.
Ugh, yeah, no thanks. The paparazzi would be relentless.
And then there's the constant pressure to manage and protect all those assets. It's not like you can just stuff $1 billion under your mattress.
Yeah. I'd need a pretty good mattress, but yeah, you'd probably have to hire like a whole team of financial advisors and lawyers, right?
Exactly. And even then, you'd be constantly making decisions, worrying about investments, market fluctuations. That's got to be incredibly stressful.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that could take the joy out of it. But what about like the social side of things? Could $1 billion mess with your relationships too?
Absolutely. Think about it. How do you know who your real friends are? Who wants you for you? And who just wants a piece of the pie?
Yeah, it's like every relationship would have this underlying question of, are they just being nice to me because I'm rich? That would be tough.
It would make it really hard to build genuine connections. And then there's the pressure to live up to everyone's expectations. People might assume you should be solving all the world's problems, donating to every charity.
Or you'd be constantly bombarded with requests for money. It's like you become this walking ATM.
And even if you're incredibly generous, you can never please everyone. There's always going to be someone who thinks you should be doing more.
So it's like you're trapped in this weird paradox where you have all this money, but you're not really free.
Exactly, and that brings us back to the source's title, Why Having $1 Billion? Actually, essay. It's a provocative statement, but it makes you think. Maybe, just maybe, there's a point where having more money stops being a blessing and starts becoming a burden.
It definitely challenges those fairy tale ideas we have about being rich. Winning the lottery, all your problems disappear. It's not that simple.
Not even close. And it really makes you appreciate the things that truly matter, the things money can't buy.
Like real friends, strong family relationships, peace of mind. Those are things you can't just buy.
Exactly. And that brings us to a question for you, dear listener. If you suddenly found yourself with $1 billion, what would be the first thing you'd change about your life?
Would it be those big flashy purchases? The mansion, the yacht, the private jet?
Or would you focus on experiences, travel, education, spending time with loved ones?
Would you use your wealth to make a difference in the world? Or would you try to stay under the radar and just enjoy your newfound freedom?
It's a question worth pondering, because in the end, it's not about the amount of money you have. It's about how you choose to live your life.
And sometimes, less really can be more. So think about it. What truly matters to you? And how would you use $1 billion to create a life that's not just rich in finances, but rich in meaning and happiness?
Something to ponder.
Until next time.
See you then.